In the summer of 2005, the Brazilian city of Fortaleza looked calm and peaceful. Under the tropical sun, daily life went on as usual. People hurried to the markets, to work, to schools. But no one could imagine that in the very heart of the city, right next to the Banco Central Bank, inside an ordinary-looking office, a crime was being planned that would shock the entire world. This office belonged to a so-called gardening company called Grama Sintética. Throughout the day, people carried soil, seeds, and plants in and out, while trucks came and went. Neighbors thought it was just routine construction or landscaping. In reality, under this facade, one of the largest and most sophisticated heists in criminal history was being prepared. The gang had thought out their plan from beginning to end. At the head of the operation stood Antonio Jusivan Alves dos Santos, known by his nickname Baiano. He was not only an experienced thief, but also a brilliant strategist. To outsiders, he appeared like an ordinary man, but behind the scenes, he had gathered dozens of criminals, engineers, workers, and even former police officers into his circle. Their ultimate goal was to reach the underground vault of Banco Central, but this was no ordinary bank. It stored the nation as cash reserves and was protected by the highest levels of security. A direct attack was impossible. Armed guards, cameras, and alarms surrounded the building, so they chose a completely different path through the underground. The so-called gardening office became the headquarters of a massive tunneling operation. For several months, the gang dug a tunnel nearly 78 meters long using hand tools, drills, and electrical equipment. This was no crude hole in the ground. It was engineered with professional care. The walls were reinforced with wood and concrete, electric lights were installed, and a ventilation system ensured fresh air. In some sections, they even placed fans connected to pipes for circulation. Night after night, the tunnel crept closer to the bank's main vault. Every day, truckloads of earth were discreetly removed. Neighbors thought nothing of it, just construction waste. For months, the criminals worked in secret. Every detail was calculated: where to break through, which wall was the weakest, how to bypass the alarms. Finally, in August 2005, they were ready to execute their grand plan. On August 6th, during the weekend, while the city was asleep, the gang drilled through the final section of the vault-stick concrete floor. At last, they entered the heart of the bank. What awaited them inside was beyond imagination. Hundreds of bags filled with cash won. 160 million Brazilian reais, worth more than $70 million at the time. Even more crucial, the notes were old, unmarked, and untraceable. The thieves worked for hours, packing money into bags and hauling them back through the tunnel. They were silent and efficient, so much so that not a single alarm was triggered. 2 days later, on the morning of August 8th, bank employees unlocked the vault, frozen disbelief. The money was gone. The floor bore a massive hole leading into the earth. Police were called immediately, and when the news reached the press, the world was stunned. Headlines screamed, "The heist of the century, a real-life movie plot, one of the smartest crimes in history." The investigation soon led authorities to the nearby gardening office. Inside, they found piles of soil, digging tools, electrical wiring, and ventilation pipes leading directly into the tunnel. Witnesses were questioned. One man testified, "Every day, trucks left full of dirt, but I thought it was just construction." The case widened. Phone records were analyzed, security cameras reviewed, and financial transactions tracked. Yet, the majority of the stolen cash was never recovered. Investigators suspected it had been laundered, smuggled abroad, or simply hidden. Meanwhile, greed tore the gang apart. Some members began flaunting wealth, buying new homes, cars, and luxuries, drawing the attention of authorities. Others vanished mysteriously, rumored to have been killed over disputes about the money. In time, the mastermind Antonio Jusivan Alves dos Santos and many of his associates were captured. Trials stretched on for years. Witnesses described the months of digging, the tools used, and the way the bank's security system was bypassed. Some criminals expressed regret, others remained silent. In the end, dozens were sentenced to 30 to 40 years in prison. But one mystery remained unsolved. More than half of the stolen 160 million reais has never been found. Where did it go? Hidden catches, secret accounts abroad? Or does someone still walk free, living off the fortune? The Banco Central Heist became more than just a robbery. It became a legend. It showed the power of patience, planning, and risk in the criminal underworld. Even today, documentaries, books, and articles revisit the story, but key questions remain unanswered. Who else was truly behind it? How many hands shaped the plan? And above all, where is the missing money? The Banco Central Heist was not merely theft, it was a historic event, etched into memory as one of the greatest and most mysterious crimes of all time. This was just the beginning. The most mysterious and shocking crime stories are still ahead. Subscribe to Crime Flow Narratives and be among the first to uncover what comes next.